more than a manager. You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Monday, hit the road!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DeVos Fieldhouse. I'm Blaine Wiersbicki, and we've got a couple games again for you this evening. Last night featured 2 games, and now we'll switch up the matchups. And first, we've got Olivet versus Spalding. Spalding fell to Hope by a big margin yesterday to fall to 1-9. Olivet came up with a 1-point win, 79-78 over Johnson & Wales to improve to 3-6. So now both teams square off, and we're just about ready to hear our starting lineups. So we'll go to our PA man, Darren Deistermars, and hear who's starting for both teams.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Hope College for game number 3 of the Rustavet Holland Sentinel Classic. Tonight's featured teams include the Golden Eagles of Spalding University and the Olivet College Comets. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for Spalding at 1 forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, number 0, Keith Wallace. And at 1 forward for Olivet, a 6'3" sophomore from Thessaloniki, Greece, number 33, Tomas Solkitsis. At 1 forward for Spalding, a 6'3" senior from Louisville, Kentucky, number 23, James Turner. And at 1 forward for Olivet, a 6'5" senior from Albion, number 42, R.J. Haas. Starting at center for Spalding, a 6'8" senior from Lexington, Kentucky, number 33, Nick Trisco. And at center for Olivet, a 6'7" senior from Monroe, number 50, Chris Curzan. At 1 guard for Spalding, a 6-foot sophomore from Frankfort, Kentucky, number 1, Rylan Rowe. And at 1 guard for Olivet, a 5'10" junior from Lansing, number 20, Jordan Terry. And at the final guard spot for Spalding, a 6'2" freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, number 21, Stephen Gordon. And at the final guard spot for Olivet, a 6'1" senior from Harper Woods, number 23, Eric Ewing. Spalding University is coached by Kevin Gray. Olivet College is coached by Steve Ernst. Your officials this evening, Mr. Brett Wajenke, Mr. Andy Joseph, and Mr. Danny Sapp.
We are just about ready to get started here from the DeVos Fieldhouse. Spalding University Golden Eagles and the Olivet College Comets. Spalding just trying to get a win, only one on the season now at 1-9. They fell to Hope 79-51. Center Nick Trislow top Spalding with 12 points, and to no surprise, he does lead the team with 16.2 points a game. Trisco, the senior center, at 6'8", out and ready to take the jump ball. And he'll square off against the center for Olivet. Also a senior, Chris Curzan. Krazan went 3 for 15 from the three-point line yesterday. Kept launching him. He's a guy that can certainly hit him. We'll see if the outside shooting continues for Olivet today. And with that, we are underway. Olivet wins the tip. Ready to go. Here's Terry, Jordan Terry, the junior guard from Lansing. And a long shot right away off the mark. Merrick Ewing. Ewing led the way for Olivet yesterday, as he does so often. Averaging 20 points a game. It was 18 until yesterday when he improved his average with a game high of 24 points. Spalding not really looking inside much. Got to try and find a shot here late in the shot clock. Stepping up, James Turner couldn't get it to go. Haas tipped it and couldn't get the rebound. So a fresh possession here at 30 seconds on the clock for Spalding. Olivet sitting in a 2-3 zone, trying to prevent any good looks for Spalding. They get it in the middle of the big man, Trisco. Now they kick it out. Shot up, and that one's off the heel. No good for Rylan Rowe. Rebound by Talkitsis. All the way over to Olivet from Greece. Had a solid game last night, did Talkitsis. Top of the key, the three from Krazan is no good. He's going to keep on firing. And finishing off from yesterday, as I mentioned, 3 of 15 from deep. So he's going to get his shots up from outside, the big man. And Trisco couldn't quite get the handle. And now underneath, Trisco's foot is out of bounds when he touched the ball. So it's going to go over to Olivet. As I mentioned, Trisco led the way for Spalding with 12 points, but averaging 16 a game. Hope did a solid job keeping him away from any sort of rhythm. And that was a big part of the reason they were able to win by 28 points. Terry on the wing, trying to get inside to Krazan now. Krazan trying to work his way in. Good pass inside. No, it's picked off. Thought it got to Haas. Haas trailing, trying to poke it away. Other way, bucket is good. First basket of the game goes to Spalding, and Keith Wallace, sophomore forward, gets it to go. Here's Ewing out on the wing. Into Haas. Now back out to Ewing and Terry up top. Talkitsis pulls up. He hits the two. Count it good for Tomas Talkitsis, who yesterday had 15 points off of 4 or 5 shooting, 3 for 4 from deep. And he was perfect 4 for 4 at the line. And an offensive foul going to be called here on James Turner. That's not good for Spalding. Turner fouled out yesterday. And the senior, one of the only 2 seniors on this Spalding team, early on picks up his first foul, an offensive foul, not a good look. He'll have to be careful from here on out. We'll see how head coach Kevin Gray pays attention to that situation. Terry back out leading the way. Coach Steve Ernst for Olivet, barking out signals from the bench. Talkitsis up top. This one well short. You could see it off the mark, out of his hand. And Trisco just watches it go out of bounds. Here's Spalding. Olivet starting to apply some pressure. This pressure really got to Johnson and Wales yesterday. Forced many turnovers. Now they're back into that 2-3 zone. Spalding having trouble getting in anything into the middle of their big man Trisco. Now the trap. Pass forced in the middle, but it gets an easy bucket layup good. Stephen Gordon, the freshman guard from Louisville, gets that one to go. When it looked like the pressure was really working, they're able to find it into the middle, take a 4-2 lead on the layup. Quentin Way in the game, the junior forward from Olivet. Didn't see playing time yesterday, but back into the game today. Way bumped. We're going to see the blocking foul before he could kick it out to R.J. Haas. So Gordon picks up the foul, second on the Golden Eagles. Quentin Way will inbound. If he can find anybody, there he does. He gets it to Talkitsis up top. Now Terry being defended by Rylan Rowe. Olivet trailing 4-2. trying to get inside. Terry, nice drive all the way in, draws the foul. And that could be on Stephen Gordon. That is the case, and just like that, Stephen Gordon picks up his second foul. So he's probably going to have to come out of the game. It looks like Kevin Gray is going to go to Will Rainey. You know, Terry going to the free throw line. We see him driving baseline and just picking up contact there from Gordon. And he makes him pay by knocking down the first free throw. Krzan back into the game. He's going to take Haas out. And as I mentioned, Rainey coming in for the Golden Eagles. Rainey, the sophomore, also from Louisville, Kentucky, Atherton High School. Second one, Terry knocks it down. We're tied at 4. And Terry will come out now with Zach Walker, the senior guard from Langsburg, checking in, taking his place. Still applying this pressure here up front. 4 men at half court and in front of half court. Chris Krzan, the only one back, guarding the basket. They try to go inside. Talkitsis takes it away, and a nice bounce pass up ahead, and he's rejected. Eric Ewing couldn't get it to go. James Turner hustled back. Fantastic defensive effort. They get it out to Rainey. His 3 wouldn't go. Krzan with the rebound. So nothing comes of either of those 2 possessions. Still 4 apiece here. 4.5 minutes into this ball game. Here's Quentin Way. Talkitsis trying to drive, now kicks out. Krzan, he's gonna shot fake, step in, kick out. Ewing, 3 from the corner, long. Krzan with the offensive rebound. He'll go up, couldn't get it to go. And now we're gonna get a foul called. So boy, Olivet wasting a pretty good opportunity. Krzan gets the offensive rebound on the air ball. Looks like he's got an easy layup, and he doesn't make it, and he commits the foul. Krzan's gonna come to the bench. Now Griffin Lewis will take his place. Aaron Washington, the senior guard, also in the game for the Comets. James Abrams is going to check in for Spalding. That's going to give the starting big man, Trisco, a break. Spalding gets it over the timeline. Down in the corner, Rainey. Going inside, layup, right hand, nice finish from Keith Wallace. It's a 6-4 lead for Spalding. Walker goes to inbound, nobody's there. Finally, Griffin Lewis is back to get it to Walker. In the corner, Washington gets an open 3 look and he buries it. Same thing as we saw yesterday. The senior guard checked in, and on the first possession on offense he was in, knocked down a 3-point shot. He did it Friday night. Here he does it again today. Back into the 2-3 zone here for Olivet. Turner up top. Deep 3, Rowe airballed it short. Rylan Rowe airballed the deep 3 yesterday too, just a bit outside of his range. Walker comes around to get it. Now the Comets will look to set up their offense. Talkitsis inside in the post. It's going to be called for the walk. Talkitsis is going to come out of the game. R.J. Haas will take his place. Kevin Woodson coming in as well. Chris Leon trying to check in at the bench, but lost his jersey when trying to take off his warm-up, so he'll have to come in at the next opportunity. Out on the wing here. Kennedy now inside. Rylan Rowe drives to the left hand, gets the layup off the glass, and good. Now here's Olivet on the other end. Walker to Woodson, back around Washington. Now Walker again. Woodson kicks back out. Walker looking to drive. He goes inside, and we're going to see a offensive foul called. A moment of deliberation between the officials. Walker calling for the offense foul. A few subs coming in here. Terry, Talkitsis, Ewing, and Krzan back into the game for Olivet. So the starting lineup back in now for Olivet. And a foul going to be called here on Terry. James Turner trying to drive to the right, just got the hands on. Spalding leading 8-7. Chance to try and increase their lead. Passing back and forth. Good ball movement here in the 2-3 to set up an open look for James Turner, the senior. Knocks down the three-point basket. They're going to need him if they want to win this ball game. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, keep himself in the game. He's doing a nice job so far since being called for the early first foul. 11-7 now. Golden Eagles, Spalding University lead the Olivet Comets. Terry drives, kicks to Haas. Haas trying to back down in the paint. Nice spin move, but he missed the shot. Haas, the lefty, got a good look with his left hand. Trying to draw the charge in there. Looking inside, Keith Wallace. Lost it, got it back. Now Turner. Rylan Rowe back and forth. Defense has been solid. Olivet moving their feet quickly. Still in that 2-3. Shot clock winding down. Rylan Rowe will have to try and create something. He takes a screen, steps up for the long two, and he knocks it down. A nice screen right there. It has James Abrams fired up. Rylan Rowe gets it to go. It's a 14-7 lead for Spalding. Terry out top for Ewing. Now Krazan, he'll try a three. Krazan off the mark again. And for Krazan, now 0 for 2 from deep. And another offensive foul. This one's going against James Turner. He's got 2 fouls now in the first quarter of this game. Both of them offensive fouls. So Olivet doing their best to try and take him out of this game. You just take to see that. Senior guard from Louisville, went to Western High School. Found himself out of the game with 5 or 6 minutes to go in yesterday's matchup. Ewing had it poked away by Turner. Rainey going to take Turner's spot, give him a chance to catch the bench with 2 fouls. I think that's a good move. Get it into Haas, now Talkitsis. To Krazan. Krazan deep 2. He gets that one to go. Finally, Krazan knocks down the shot. He's 1 of 4 on the day overall. Gets it back to a 5-point game. All of that applying pressure, and he gives it away to Ewing. Not a good pass right there. DeMarcus Kennedy just didn't know where to go with it. Now for Olivet, PJ Tramble, the junior guard from West Ottawa, right here in Holland High School. Krazan driving to the left, trying to go up and in, and he gets it to go right around James Abrams. A nice finish there from Krazan. Krazan starting to heat up a little bit. The game's back to within 3. Haas, got to be careful. That's not a good move. Got way too much contact in there. That's a foul. RJ Haas picks up Olivet's 4th foul. So now Spalding able to get it past the timeline here. Rainey, dead up top in the trap, gets it out. Here's Rylan Rowe looking to drive. Over top of Haas, the floater will go. Nice touch there by the sophomore guard from Frankfort, Kentucky. And lead is back to 5 for the Golden Eagles. Ewing now out on the wing, defended by Rainey. Up to Krazan. Krazan's going to launch again. He can't get it to go. Here's Krazan, the volume 3-point shooter. Once again, misses from deep, 0 for 3 today. That combined him for a 3 for 18 mark in the past 2 games so far. Kicked out Rowe, wide open 3 from the wing. He buries it. Rylan Rowe starting to get something going. He's leading the Golden Eagles now with 10 points. Just like that, he's in double digits, and it's a 19-11 lead. Ewing in the paint, turns. Off the glass, couldn't go. Talkitsis almost had the board, but it bounced one too many times, so Rylan Rowe comes out with it. Chance to get the lead up to double digits here for Spalding. Rainey around to Kennedy. Ryland Rowe halfway through the shot clock. Spalding a little bit slow on this offensive possession. Haven't really looked to get inside much. There it is. They finally feed it to the middle. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Step back. Keith Wallace wouldn't go. And the rebound snagged on the run out by P.J. Trammell. Tries to go all the way. Almost loses it. Tries to give it to Ewing. Somehow Olivet still gets it back. Out top to Telkitsis. And back to Trammell. P.J. Trammell to run this Olivet offense. Halfway through the shot clock now. They've got to get something going. They're trying to get a curl for Ewing up top. They do. We're inside to Krazan now. They kick it over to Telkitsis, but the pass was tipped.
Entering the lineup for Spalding, number 11, Owen Humphrey. Number 33, Nick Trisco. Number 35, Chris Leon. For Olivet, number 24, Aaron Washington.
Plenty of subs coming in for Spalding. Nick Trisco into the game. Mumphrey as well. And Washington back in for Olivet, who gets the ball and promptly puts up a three and knocks it down. 2 threes, 6 points. Very efficient game so far for Washington. Griffin Lewis back in as well for the Comets. Finally seeing Chris Leon, the sophomore from Male High School in Louisville, in the game for Spalding after a jersey stuck to the warm-up. Tried pulling it off. Couldn't get in the game in time. Trisco inside, trying to post up on the block on Krazan. Now they feed it in. He can't get the layup to go. His own rebound. It's slapped around. And we're going to get a jump ball. Lewis, Trisco, and Kennedy all down there on the floor trying to grab it. Possession arrow is going to keep this with Spalding, and they've got 1 second on the shot clock. So I think they basically just got to throw this in the middle, try and tip it up. I got to think you're going to look to Trisco. And I don't think Trisco got that off. It did not look like he got it in time, but amazing shot from the top of the key. But he caught it, shot it, did not get the shot off in 1 second, so the basket will not count. With 1 second, you really got to look inside to get a tip. And as we look at the replay, you can see the clock at 0 before he shoots the basketball. Foul down on this end.
Spalding foul on number 3.
And they're going to get Will Rainey with the foul. So here's Olivet back on the offensive end. Another three. That one wouldn't go. Rolled around and out. Washington was feeling it. Made his first 2, but Aaron Washington, the senior guard from Fort Wayne, couldn't quite get that to go. So it's still a 5-point lead for Spalding. Trisco. Gonna get inside, turns with the right hand. Around the rim, wouldn't go. So far, the big man hasn't scored. Would have been an impressive 3-point basket, but he couldn't get the shot off. Woodson now from the wing. He buries the 3. Olivet can start heating up from outside and have a great chance to win this ball game. Down just 2 now. And Rainey on the other end going inside. He'll draw the foul. A block going to be called on Lewis. But Spalding, 3 of 6 from deep. Olivet was just 2 of 9. And that deep 3 makes it 3 for 10. So we look at that last play going inside. Rainey at the free throw line now. He left it short.
Entering the lineup for Spalding, number 21, Stephen Gordon.
Rainey trying to get the second one to split the pair. So still a 2-point lead for Spalding. They couldn't convert on either of the free throws. P.J. Trammell swings it over. Woodson hit the last one. He buries this one too. He's got a good looking stroke right now. And that's going to force a timeout from Kevin Gray. It's Kevin Woodson, the senior forward from Lambertville, able to get that one to go and give Olivet the 20-19 lead. 6:52 left in this first half. And it's been Spalding in the lead by a few points for a while. Olivet finally able to climb back in knocking down a couple three-point baskets. Washington with 2. And we see Woodson knock down 2 as well. 4 for 11. Nobody else has been able to make one from deep for the Comets. And now battling back in to take the lead, 20-19. Ryland Rowe leads the way for Spalding with 10 points on the other side. Pretty balanced for Olivet. Woodson and Washington both have 6 on the 2 threes. Chris Krzan has 4 points. So Spalding gets the basketball back, just under 7 to play before the half. Ryland Rowe. Being defended by Trammell. Now Chris Leon. Out top, Gordon keeps swinging it around. Ryland Rowe, Rainey. Looking to get inside. Finally, they get to Trisco. Krzan defending. Rowe's going to take the 3 in the corner. His is long. Nice rebound from Washington coming over the back to help out. Into the corner, Woodson's got the hot hand. Couldn't get this one to go. Trammell comes down with it. He's going to try and bank it off the glass, and it wouldn't fall. So here comes Spalding back the other way. Rowe is dead out on the wing. Trammell defending out top to Rainey. Washington wanted to jump it for a steal. Trisco trying to take Krzan. He spins off and he leaves a shot short on the line drive. Leon going to be called for the foul against Spalding here. That's the 6th on the Golden Eagles. 1 shy of the bonus now. 5:53 to go in the half.
Number 35, Chris Leon. That is his first. Team's 6th.
Woodson gets it into Trammell. Lewis sets the screen. Try to get to Washington. He's going to step back, put up a tough 2. That barely grazed the rim. Leon comes down with the board, gets it up to Ryland Rowe. Five and a half remaining here in this first half. Leon. Out the wing for Ryland Rowe, halfway through the shot clock. Not much doing here. Get inside for Trisco. Inside, finally. Get the big man a good look. He has missed a couple of shots. Still has not scored today, but a chance to go to the free throw line to get a couple points right here.
That is his 2nd. Team's 6th.
I'm just waiting for Olivet to get their players in position to rebound, and now Trisco looking to get his first points of the game. First free throw is good.
Entering the lineup for Olivet, number 23, Eric
Ewing coming into the game to take Washington's place. But you see Trisco going up when he got fouled on that last play. Game tied up at 20 apiece. Low scoring affair so far. And Trisco gets both to go. He's got 2 points on the day and gives Spalding the 21-20 lead. Trammell now up the floor. Calling out signals. Woodson, we're going to see a foul called. They're going to get Gordon. Yeah, that'll be the 3rd foul now on Stephen Gordon, the freshman guard. He's in trouble. He's going to have to get a sub. Here comes Mumphrey to take his place, I would assume. Terry in for Trammell. Starting point guard back in. Got a solid amount of rest there. Trammell did a nice job just facilitating, running the offense, keeping this game close. So Terry will have a pretty fresh legs here for these last 5 minutes of the half. So here's second free throw try for Kevin Woodson. Senior gets both to go. And the lead back over to Olivet. 22-21, just over 5 to play. They're putting on pressure. Woodson going to be called for the block. Olivet fans not thrilled with that. Neither is head coach Steve Ernst. Stepped up in front and looked to be in good guarding position, but the fact that he was moving forward and there was a little bit of contact. Here's Ryland Rowe to try and take the lead back for Spalding. Touched about every part of the rim before it fell down. Tied up at 22. Second chance for Rowe. Gets it to go. Free throws. Keeping the lead, changing back and forth right now. Spalding gets it, Olivet gets it back, and now Spalding back on top. 23-22 over the Comets. Rainey comes out of the game. Kennedy in. Trisco, Leon, and Rowe to finish off the lineup. Nice drive inside. Terry airballed the layup though. Brazan tried to go up, couldn't get it to Kennedy, pulls down the board. Spalding coming up the other way. Here's Ryland Rowe being defended by Woodson, trying to get his offense moving. Big man Trisco up top. Here's Leon. He'll take the deep jump shot. Short up front of the iron. Haas there. And here's Ewing on the curl. Down by 1. Terry. Ewing looked to backdoor cut, but it was covered well by Kennedy. Nice little two-man ball inside. And we're going to see a foul called down in the paint on Kennedy. And right there, it looked like Haas could have just gone up with it, but he wanted to turn to his left. And he obviously did not know that DeMarcus Kennedy was standing there. He knocked him over, but Kennedy had been moving also inside of the charge circle, so no other option but to call the defensive penalty. So once again, free throws could change the lead of this game. But the first one missed by R.J. Haas, so it'll stay a 1-point lead for Spalding with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Kennedy dribbles all the way through the pressure. So now Spalding to set up their half-court offense. Trisco, the big man, being doubled. Spins through it, and he gets the easy layup once he got by. Nice presence there by Nick Trisco. Here's Terry. Out to the wing for Haas. Woodson steps up, deep 2, knocked it down. Back to within 1. 25-24, Spalding leads Olivet. Ryland Rowe signaling his offense. Nice pass on the backdoor cut from Trisco to Kennedy. Kennedy couldn't make it, but a no board and a basket by Chris Leon. Lead back to 3 now for Spalding in a back and forth affair. Here's Ewing. We're going to drive, and we're going to see a block called on Leon. Leon couldn't believe the call there. He picks up his second. Leon's going to take a seat on the bench. Keith Wallace in to take his place. Saul Kitsits into the game, as well as Griffin Lewis. So here's Ewing at the line. Gets the first to go. Ewing, both free throws good. We're back to a 1-point game. 2:45 remaining now in the first half. Spalding trying to get inside of that 2-3 zone. Deep 2, Trisco knocks it down from the baseline. Lead back up to 3. Terry to bring it up the floor for the Comets. Here's Terry being defended by Rowe. Now he steps it back out. Olivet's got to look to get something going offensively. Coach Ernst shaking his head in disapproval. Brazan to Terry, who drives now to the middle. Lewis He steps up, tries to float over the top, and he's fouled by Trisco. And Trisco just reached down on the arm for a second. He didn't like the call, thought that he was straight up. But nonetheless, here goes Griffin Lewis at the line. He leaves it well short. Barely touched the rim.
Entering the line for Olivet, number 12, Zach Walker. Also number 24, Aaron Washington.
So now Lewis trying to split the pair. Wasn't anywhere close on the first one. Knocks down the second. Back to a 2-point game. Under 2 to play. Wallace gets it in. Rylan Rowe went to him, but he wasn't ready for it. And Washington takes it away. He's just going to step back, fire a 3, and he knocks it down. Just like that, the Comets on top, 30-29. And they'll continue to apply the pressure. Momentary lapse of focus there for Spalding leads to Olivet taking the lead back. And then Trisco misses the shot. Krazan had it taken away from him. Should have had the rebound. And now we're going to have a foul called on Walker. Spalding in the double bonus. Rylan Rowe, who leads all scorers with 12 points, has a chance to go to the free throw line here to add to that point total. As we look back at the replay here of Rowe just getting grabbed when he tried to drive. Knocks down the first free throw. And the second one's good as well. Rowe now with 14 points. And he gives the lead back to Spalding, 31-30. Washington 3 for 4 from deep for 9 points. Might want to look to the hot hand to continue shooting. Being defended closely by Mumphrey. Here's Walker now, shot clock down to 15. Kitsis, he's just going to pull up from the wing, and he knocks it down. 3 ball from Tal Kitsis. He's got 5 points now on the day. A very efficient shooter. I mentioned his numbers from yesterday's game. Tal Kitsis, 4 for 5, 3 for 4 from deep, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Tonight, he's only missed 1 shot. He's got 5 points. Olivet's 2-3 zone doing its job. First half of this possession, shot clock down under 10. Trisco, step back, tough shot off the back of the rim. Krazan pulls down the rebound. Olivet with a 2-point lead, looking to increase that. Walker to Talkitsis. Back out to Walker. Walker looking for a signal from Coach Ernst. Go to Talkitsis on the wing. Talkitsis trying to drive, step back. That shot off the mark. Trisco gets it. Shot clock off here. Spalding can pull up, take the last shot if they want to. They trail by 2. They're going to. They've got to get to the rim now, though. 5 seconds left. They're in the middle. Wallace steps right through Lewis, and he gets the layup just before the buzzer, and that will tie the ball game up here. We're headed to the locker room, 33-33. Spalding and Olivet all knotted up. 14 points for Rylan Rowe to lead the way. And for Olivet, it was Kevin Woodson who had 10 points, 9 for Aaron Washington. Olivet shot 37% from the field, Spalding 48%. And a big difference being Spalding with 7 turnovers compared to just 3 for Olivet. Spalding committed a turnover on 34% of their possessions yesterday against Hope. They average about 25% of their possessions, ending up in turnovers, 1 out of every 4 possessions. So looking to improve on that if they want to beat Olivet. Olivet looking to go 2-0 here at DeVos. Spalding just trying to come away with their 2nd win of the season. We've got about 15 minutes before we start up second half action. We'll be back after this. And we're back, ready for the second half here between Olivet and Spalding. I'm Blaine Wiersbicki with the play-by-play. We're ready for a great second half. The first half was back and forth the entire way and finished off just like you might expect, tied up at 33 apiece. Just rolling a few of the highlights from the first half that you can see. Roll down the stat line a little bit. Rylan Rowe with 14 to lead all scorers for Spalding. On the other end, Kevin Woodson had 10. Aaron Washington at 9. The three ball was the way that Olivet started to get back into this game. As Spalding started 3 for 6 from deep, missed their last 2 to finish 3 out of 8. And Olivet started 2 out of just 9, but then hit 4 out of their last 5 to finish 6 for 14. So the three ball turned in favor of the Comets. Both teams hitting their free throws relatively well today. And Spalding out rebounding Olivet 19 to 13. But Spalding committing 7 turnovers compared to just 3 for Olivet. And we are just under a minute away from getting ready to go. Both teams huddled up. And we'll see what kind of adjustments both teams made. Spalding needs to protect the basketball a little bit better. The pressure Olivet put on got to Johnson and Wales a bit yesterday. Certainly got to Spalding a bit. Not too bad. 7 turnovers. Certainly could be worse for a team in Spalding that does commit turnovers on 1 out of every 4 possessions on average throughout the season. And turn the ball over, as I mentioned in the first half, 35% of the time last night against Hope College. So certainly could be worse. We'll see if Olivet continues to try and put pressure on, see if they stay in that 2-3 zone defense. Trisco, the last one out onto the court for Spalding. And Olivet ready to inbound it. They will start this half with the basketball. Washington in the lineup, as well as Walker, Haas, Ewing, and Krazan. For Spalding, it's James Turner, Keith Wallace. You've got Trisco, the big man, Rylan Rowe, and DeMarcus Kennedy as well to round things out. So neither team going with the same lineup it started the game with to start off the second half. Ewing almost fell down, taking the pass off the curl from Walker. Here's Krazan, wide open look from the wing. He likes to shoot the deep ball, and he finally gets one to go. And Olivet starts off the half with a bang. I mentioned the three-point shooting turning in their favor. And now 7 of 15 on the day. Turner nowhere to go, over to Rowe. As I mentioned, leads all scorers. He's got 14 in the first half. Now Turner passes over, wide open from the wing, and he buries it. Turner's had a couple open 3 looks, and he hasn't missed, certainly taking advantage. And if you're Olivet, you just can't leave him with that kind of look. Tough 3, Washington left it shy. Ewing battling for the rebound, but not gonna win it. With Trisco just sticking his arms straight up in the air. Didn't even need a jump, the 6'8" big man. Out to Rylan Rowe, wide open look. He's been hot today. Not this time though from 3. Haas pulls it down and gives it to Walker. Walker is gonna look to go coast to coast, and that's a nice finish. Up and under to the left side, got it by Trisco. The action starting to pick up a little bit in this half right off the bat, less than a minute and a half in. We've already seen 8 points scored and obviously a relatively low scoring half. Neither team with more than 33. Inside, Trisco couldn't finish the layup. Krazan pulls down the board. Looked like perhaps Trisco might have gotten a little hand on his back, which made it tough. Here's Ewing for the Comets. Back and forth, Washington up top. Ewing, leading scorer, averaging more than 20 a game this year. Had a tough start today. Step back, turnaround, couldn't get it to roll on the rim. And the tough day continues for Eric Ewing, who just has 2 points. Both of those off a trip to the free throw line. Hasn't made a field goal yet. You go to Trisco in the middle. He fakes the shot, goes inside. Wallace had it tipped off by Krazan. That'll go out and stay with Spalding. Turner, who got 2 early fouls, both offensive, gets in the game. Trisco goes inside, and that's just too easy. Let the big guy get in there. Don't know how you lose him. He catches a bounce pass and lays it right in. Tied up at 38 apiece now. Krazan out top. Now Ewing. Ewing, nice quick first step, drives to the hole, and finally gets a field goal, his first of the game. Ewing now has 4 points, and he's got his team a 2-point lead. Here's Spalding against the 2-3 zone. Rylan Rowe. Back over to Kennedy. Now Trisco will take the jumper from the baseline, left it long. Olivet couldn't rebound. Krzan blocked the shot of Rylan Rowe. He gets the offensive rebound. He missed the layup again. Now Trisco is fouled on the floor by Ewing. Head coach Steve Ernst is furious for Olivet. Understandably so. His team really struggling on the boards so far today. And it shows once again, now they're being out-rebounded by Spalding 24-15. Long shot won't go. Krzan goes over the top of Turner, and that's just not a good play. Once again, another offensive rebound. Krzan's a guy that's got to be able to pull down rebounds. Listed at 6'7". Big man struggling right now. And that zone can be tough sometimes. You're not in man-to-man, but you just got to find the closest body and box him out. Here's Mumphrey. Now Turner to Rowe. He'll try from the wing. He knocks it down. Spalding back on top, 41-40. Comets trail by 1. So here's Haas. Takes a tough shot, wouldn't go. Rebounded by Trisco. So it's still a 41-40 lead for Spalding over Olivet. And that one's taken away right away. Walker poked it away. Krzan came up with it. He'll dish off to Washington. He gets the layup to go. Great fast break. Nice pass. And back on top of the Comets, 42-41. Rylan Rowe to the wing for Mumphrey. Trisco out wide to Turner. Couldn't handle it cleanly, otherwise might have thought about a 3 from the wing. Tried to go down to Trisco, and it was tipped by Ewing. Valkitsis will come into the game and take the place of Chris Krzan. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Mumphrey. Turner, he'll take the contested 3 off the mark. Valkitsis pulls down the rebound, gets it up to Walker. Walker wants to take it all the way. He's rejected big time by James Turner. Swats him over the top. That gets his team on the bench fired up. They're up on their feet. As we look back at the huge block there, Walker did a nice job getting by, but then Turner was having none of it. So now 23 seconds on the shot clock. Olivet can get it in. Talkitsis catches. Out to Walker. 3 ball. That one's good. And that's a nice move by Talkitsis to go baseline and draw 2 defenders. And Walker's defender left him all alone. He just kicked it right back behind him. And 3 from Walker gives Olivet the 4-point lead. Out to the wing. Mumphrey. Now Rylan Rowe in the middle. Trisco wide open. And he lays it in off the glass with the right hand. Here's Walker. Being defended by Rowe. Now they hand it off to Ewing. He'll try the 3 off the mark. Trisco stepped out, might have affected that shot with his long reach. Trisco being defended in the corner, kicks out to Turner. They go in the middle to Keith Wallace. Still moving it around. Stepping up, the shot's off the mark. Ewing pulls down a tough board on the miss from Rylan Rowe. Ewing will go up, and we're going to get a block called here on Owen Mumphrey, the junior guard. Let's take a peek. Heading down the floor, Ewing trying to sidestep him with a little Euro step. Seemed to be in pretty good position, but called for the blocking foul. So 14:09 left here in the second. Olivet's got the 2-point lead from the corner. Ewing couldn't get it to go. His cold shooting day continues. Eric Ewing now 1 for 8 overall. And that shot was partially blocked from the looks of things. Swatted out of bounds, and this will go to the Comets. Here's Walker bringing it up the floor for the Comets. Olivet with the 2-point lead. Talkitsis in the high post. Nice pass inside. Walker missed the layup. Walker was right there. A beautiful pass from Talkitsis, and Walker makes a hustle play back to tip it out of bounds. Coach Ernst is just beside himself. Not even looking at the court. Cannot believe that Walker missed that layup after Talkitsis found him with a great pass. Rowe in the middle, kicked out to the wing, and James Turner stays hot. He's 3 for 4 from deep now. He's got 9 points. The lead back to Spalding by 1. Talkitsis wants to drive. He's going to pick up the blocking foul on Keith Wallace.
Spalding foul on number 0. Keith Wallace, that is his first, team's second. Entering the lineup for Olivet, number 24, Aaron Washington.
Washington back into the game for the Comets. Here's Walker to inbound with a fresh shot clock. They get it into Washington. He takes the 3. Short, though, off the front of the iron. Driscoll up ahead to James Turner. Rylan Rowe moving it around quickly are the Golden Eagles. Wallace back to Rowe. Here's Turner. Fired in the middle. Wallace will take the 2. Wouldn't go. And Trisco picks it away on the rebound. He goes up over top of Talkitsis and gets it to go. And now Spalding up by 3, 48-45. Talkitsis, he'll step back. He's left open for the 3 try. This one wouldn't go. Almost an offense rebound to Ewing. It just jumped a bit too early. Rylan Rowe ends up with it. Kicks it out Turner. He's been hot from deep. This one would not go. And a rebound by Olivet. Coach Ernst wants him to keep the pace up. This game is turning into a track meet. Washington fires the 3. His is well off the mark. I think both teams need to just slow it down a little bit. Looks like Spalding will finally do so. 48-45. Spalding leads. Just over 12 left to play. Throwing it away. Talkitsis, or excuse me, Haas has it underneath. Walker to bring it up the floor. Kicks out to Talkitsis. He'll try a 3 ball. Wouldn't go. Had a wide open look. Humphrey looks like he's going to go coast to coast, and he does with the left hand. Washington went about 4 rows up into the crowd. Now the lead up to 5 for Spalding, 50-45. Haas will take it inside, count it, and the foul. The hoop and the harm. R.J. Haas, the senior, gets it to go off glass with the left hand. He's got a chance to cut this down to a 2-point game. 50-47 now the score. Take a look back here as Haas drives inside, picks up the block, and a strong finish with the left hand off the glass. Chance to get this game within 2 points with a free throw. Haas leaves it off the front end, so it's still a 3-point game, 50-47. Spalding leads Olivet. Rainey in the game for the Golden Eagles. See James Abrams, the big man in the middle as well. Keith Wallace steps out, keeps swinging it around. Looking to re-enter inside. Shot clock down to 5. Rowe might have to force this 3. He leaves it short. Terry tries to hustle and tip it away. Keith Wallace comes up with it. And here's Rowe. Fresh shot clock. Terry almost took it away from Keith Wallace. Into the middle. Haas trying to defend. Wallace goes up. Couldn't get it to fall. Haas somehow gets it after Talkitsis tips it his way. Trammell trying to go all the way. He has his pass attempt tipped out. And Spalding gets it back to Ryland Rowe. We'll slow things down at least for a moment. Free throw line jumper goes for Keith Wallace. Keith Wallace can get that open look in the middle against that zone. I think it would make sense for Spalding to continue to go for that look. Haas wants to try, forgot to take the basketball with him. Now trying to back down inside, couldn't get it to go. Didn't catch the rim even. So here's Spalding now with the 5-point lead. Rainey now to Turner. Under 10 to play. Spalding trying to increase their 5-point lead. Rainey pulls up, he airballs it long. Great box out from Eric Ewing. Now Olivet's gonna take a timeout. Both teams still have plenty left. Second half's really started to move along. With a 52-47 lead for Spalding. Olivet trailing by 5. It's gonna take a timeout. It's a full timeout, which gives us time to hear from our sponsor, Lawrence and Vanderswart. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
And we're back. 52-47. Olivet trails to Spalding, so they take a timeout and got the basketball. 9:39 remaining in the second half. Ryland Rowe continues to lead all scorers. He's got 17. Nick Trisco with 12 for Spalding. James Turner 9 on 3 3-pointers, and Keith Wallace with 8 now. Starting to get a few of those mid-range jumpers from around the free throw line to go. He's gotten in the middle of that 2-3 zone. Washington with 11 and Woodson with 10 for Olivet, the only 2 scorers in double digits for the Comets. Next highest would be Chris Krazan with 7 points. Krazan checks back into the game for the Comets. Here's Terry up the floor being defended by Rowe. Walker to Ewing. Ewing's had a slow day, averaging over 20 a game on the season, just 4 on 1 of 8 shooting this evening. And Talkitsis, long 3, wouldn't go. Rainey in the right place for the rebound. Here's James Turner defended by Terry. Rainey swings it around to the top of the key. Ryland Rowe wants to drive. He'll float it up. Couldn't go. Abrams with the rebound on Krazan, and Krazan gonna be called for the foul. So Abrams will go to the line to shoot 2. James Abrams, the junior from Bessemer, Alabama. Bessemer High School, 6'6" forward up to Kentucky to play for Spalding. Can't get the first free throw to go. Here's R.J. Haas to take out Walker, and Woodson will come in to take the place of Eric Ewing. Krazan thought he was coming out. Olivet shuffles around and finally ready. So Abrams trying to add to the 5-point lead. Couldn't get the first, but he splits the pair by hitting the second free throw. 1:09 to play. It's a 53-47 lead for Spalding. Here's Stalkitsis. Short pass to Haas. Now back out. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Haven't seen a whole lot on this offensive possession for Olivet. Woodson is bumped by Turner. Boy, it looked like Haas could have gone to the right on the drive there. He's been given that. He is a lefty, of course. Turner picks up his 3rd foul. right here. Haas looked like he had the drive, kicks it over, and yeah, Turner just still moving. Woodson gets the first free throw to go. And the second one rattles out. So still a 5-point lead for Spalding. Here's Rylan Rowe. Turner on the wing. Wallace. Haven't seen him shoot from outside of about 5 feet. This time a nice drive inside. Couldn't get the layup to go. And now forces a jump ball. Abrams getting in there with Woodson. It'll keep it down here with Spalding. Trisco will take Abrams' place. Chris Leon will come in, take the place of Keith Wallace. So officials having a quick discussion because trying to figure out something with the scorer's table. Talking about the clock perhaps. 8:10 showing a fresh 30-second shot clock here as well. Which of course is correct after the miss. The rebound was brought down and it was a jump ball. So the shot clock should be fresh. Now we're being told 5 seconds on the shot clock. And now, official coming over to talk to head coach for Spalding, Kevin Gray. You have to look back and see the shot clock being set down to 5 seconds. Of course, Spalding did have possession, so a jump ball, they wouldn't reset things. So they are going to have 5 seconds on the shot clock. Get it in, Rylan Rowe. He'll try and drive to left right away, floats it up, off the mark. Krzan could not come up with the rebound. It's off of him. It's going to stay with Spalding. Krzan has really struggled today. They're having on to some of those rebounds. When you look at it, 41 boards for Spalding, 22 for Olivet. Here's Turner being defended by Terry. Goes up to Trisco. Trisco will drive, floated up with the right hand. Wouldn't go down, and the rebound grabbed by Haas. Here's Terry. Olivet still down 5. Woodson looking to drive. We're going to see a foul called. Are they going to get Turner here? Indeed, they are going to get Turner's 4th foul.
That is his 4th. Team's 5th.
And Turner now with 4 fouls. Woodson gets the first free throw to go. Of course, Turner fouled out in yesterday's game. He's going to come to the bench here. 7:40 remaining. And Woodson gets both to go. It's a 3-point game now. Here's Mumphrey for Trisco out top. See how Turner being out of the game will affect these few minutes that I'm sure he's going to be down on the bench. Rainey down in the corner, nowhere to go with it. Now goes in for Trisco. Krzan there. And Trisco stepped out of bounds underneath. So that's going to turn it over to Olivet, the 10th turnover. And now for Spalding. And they want to get the baseline cleaned up. Just took a minute for the substitutes. We can take a look at that last play here, where Trisco was ruled to have stepped out of bounds. And tough to see right there. But a good look from our camera crew right there on top of the play. Trying to lob backdoor for Haas, and he gets the left-handed layup to roll, just barely. Hung up on the rim on the front side and ended up falling. And now it's a 1-point ball game. Spalding 53, Olivet 52. Under 7 to play. This game has been just as close in the second half as it was in the first. Rowe going to Leon. Grzan, got to be careful with the hands in there. And Talkitsa steps in. He steals it away, able to get the pass off to Terry as he goes to the floor. So here's Terry defended by Rowe. Olivet with a chance to take the lead. Terry will drive, floats with the right hand, and a charge going to be called.
Olivet fouls on number 20, Jordan Terry.
And Leon
That is his second. Team's fourth.
needs a sub, calling to the bench.
Entering the lineup for Spalding,
As he stepped in to take the charge. Seems to be shaken up. He's headed to the bench.
Training staff to the Spalding bench, please. Training staff to the Spalding bench.
Rylan Rowe now being defended closely by Terry. Inside, good pass, Trisco. And they make it look easy with that possession. Lead back up to 3 for Spalding. 55-52. Golden Eagles on top of the Comets with 6 minutes left to play. Grzan with a shot fake, steps up to the elbow, and he buries that too. Nice play right there from Chris Grzan. Coach Ernst pleading with his team to play some defense. Going to back out of the pressure. Don't want to get a foul there, I suppose. Start getting at a point where late in the game the other team could be shooting free throws. Just 4 fouls on Olivet so far, so they're doing pretty solid in that department. Woodson tried to steal, got a hand at him, and Mumphrey steps up. He'll get the 2, and he knocks it down. So back to a 3-point game. Five and change left here. Olivet to see if they can respond. Grzan wants to go baseline. He's going to be fouled before the shot. And this one goes against Keith Wallace. Wallace picks up his second foul. Wallace with 8 points on the day.
Entering the lineup for Spalding, number 25, DeMarcus Kennedy, number 23, James Turner, and number 45, James Abrams. For Olivet, number 23.
And Spalding is going to take a timeout. Called by Rylan Rowe, who's come to the bench, subbed in. We see Stephen Gordon in the game. Gordon picked up 3 fouls, and he sat for a lot at the end of the first half, beginning of the second half. Just a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here with 5:12 remaining. It's a 57-54 lead for Spalding over Olivet. Rylan Rowe still leading all scorers. He slowed down a bit in the second half, but the 14-point first half has led him to 17 overall. Trisco's got 14 total now, just a couple points shy of his average on the year. Keith Wallace with 8, James Turner with 9. For the Comets, Woodson with 12, Washington with 11, and Chris Grzan with 10 points now to join the double-digit club. Rylan Rowe will come right back into the game. Spalding to defend the inbound from Olivet, who trails by 3. Going to try and get a screen and set up an open 3 for Ewing. The play works perfectly, but Ewing can't quite pick up the 3-pointer. So here's Spalding. So Ewing's tough day shooting continues. Now so far on the day, he's 1 of 9 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. The middle for Keith Wallace. Mumphrey shot fake. And back out. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Kick it out. Turner, 3. That's short. Ewing with the rebound. Here's Ewing up the floor. Olivet still trails by 3. 4.5 minutes to play. Here's Grzan. Step back deep, too. Well off the mark. Not the best look. Offensive rebound. Ewing still misses. Now 1 for 10 on the day. 0 for 6 from 3-point range. Rylan Rowe kicks out to the wing for Turner. Now Mumphrey looking to get into the middle for Wallace. Then Abrams comes up. Shot clock inside of 10. Spalding's got to find a shot. Rowe will drive, try and float it over Haas, and he gets it to go. It's been a while since Ryland Rowe had scored, but that's a big one right there to give Spalding the 5-point lead. Here's Ewing to Talkitsis. Inside, good dish. Grzano's blocked, gets it back. He goes up, is fouled, it cannot make the layup. Chris Grzan. Chance to go to the line to shoot two. Was denied, got the board, and was almost denied again, but the foul called. Couldn't quite finish the layup. Grzan, first one is good. Trisco to check in to take Abrams' place. Woodson going to come in as well. And Eric Ewing will come to the bench. Ewing knows he's just been having a tough day, and that's going to happen to everybody, even very good basketball players like Eric Ewing, who averages over 20 points a game today, struggling with just 4. Other guys have got to pick it up for you. Chris Grzan gets both to go there. Back to a 3-point game. They want to get the pressure on. That pass was mishandled, but still Spalding able to get it over. Trisco will go inside, and he gets 2. That did not take very long. And it's a 5-point game. Here's Grzan on the elbow. Nice pass inside. Terry, good shot fake. Up and down. Back to a 3-point ball game. We've got 3 minutes left to play. Terry almost poked it away from Rowe. Now he's on the ground. And that leads to a wide open 3, and Mumphrey could not get it to go. Another offensive rebound and a foul called on Woodson. Olivet's struggled to rebound. If they cannot come back and win, you certainly look at that on the stat sheet and think that it would be a whole new ball game if it were even close. 44 rebounds for Spalding, 26 for Olivet. 45 after that one, and 14 offensive rebounds for the Golden Eagles. Absolutely dominating on the glass. Foul going to be called as Wallace tried to go inside the disc to Trisco, who made the layup, but first Grzan called for the foul. And that's Chris Grzan's 5th foul. He is out of this game. We take a look. He drives inside. Grzan just goes over the top, gets the right arm in there. Definitely a foul. Haas going to check out 2, Washington in, so a small lineup here. No Grzan, no Haas. 2:45 left to play. Olivet trails by 3. They're in the 2-3 zone. Got to think you can look to Trisco, your big man here. Terry looking for the steal. Now they go Trisco. Inside, well contested. The shot long, but it sticks and somehow finds a way to fall to the bottom of the net. Hit the back iron, back into the air. And it fell down. The lead back to 5 for Spalding. It's in back and forth between a 3- and 5-point lead here. Olivet just hasn't been able to come up with a stop on the defensive end the last few times down. Woodson falls down. That ball's kicked off of Turner. Eric Ewing to check back into the game. It'd be very interesting to see Ewing take a shot and make a big shot late in this game, considering he's 1 for 10 on the day, 0 for 6 from the field overall. 2 for 2 from the free throw line for 4 points. He's a big-time player. He certainly has the ability to knock down a big-time shot. Good pass inside for Terry. Here's Ewing. Shot fake, nice drive inside, up and under, and there it is. Eric Ewing finding a way to get involved in different ways, getting inside. 3-point ball game once again, but can Olivet get a stop on defense? They're back in man-to-man. Here's Turner up top. Ryland Rowe going inside. Talkitsis looking to defend. Terry trying to get inside, trying to grab the basketball. And a jump ball is going to be called. And this is going over to Olivet. What a big play on the defensive end. Olivet needed a stop, and they get it. 63-60. They're down by 3. They've got the ball with 1:35 to go. See if they look to get a 3-pointer here. They certainly don't need it with a 1.5 minutes. We're going to take a timeout first so they can talk about it. Olivet trailing 63-60 to Spalding. It's going to take a full timeout. So with that, We'll take a break to hear from our sponsor. We'll be right back for the finish of the game right after this.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
Back here with a 3-point lead for Spalding over Olivet, 63-60, minute and a half to go, 1:31 exactly. Olivet's got the basketball, just took a full timeout. And we'll see what they drew up. Coming out of the break, they'll inbound from in front of the scorer's table, right near their own bench. And as Spalding comes out on the floor, it's Trisco and Wallace, Turner, Mumphrey, and Rowe. Ewing, Washington, Terry, Haas, and Talkitsis in for the Comets. Hand it off to Ewing. He'll drive baseline right away. Spins inside. Nice move to go back to the rim and get the layup. And it's a 1-point ball game. 1:20 to go. Olivet getting in their pressure, trying to draw a trap. Terry stepped in front. You get it to Mumphrey. He's trapped just behind the line. He just flings it forward. Wallace all alone to Trisco, and an open jumper. Turner couldn't get it to go until Kitsis comes down with it, and he's fouled by Trisco, and that's going to send Talkitsis, a very good free throw shooter, to the line here. Take a look back at that play. You see it missed, tipped up and around, and finally Talkitsis comes up with it. He's shoved. And here is Talkitsis to go to the line. Gets the first to go. Talkitsis shooting 92% on the season to lead all qualified scorers for Olivet. Fantastic from the line. Can take the lead here for Olivet. Second shot up and good, and Talkitsis, the D3 Greek freak, knocks it down. And it's a 64-63 lead for Olivet. That ball was tipped slightly. Spalding hangs on. Trying to take the lead back, down by 1. Terry putting the pressure on. Get it out. Here's Keith Wallace. Now Mumphrey. Back out Mumphrey. He looked like he had an opening. Will drive instead, go up for 2. Wouldn't go, it's tipped out. Keith Wallace gets it back. Now Mylan Rowe, this shot well off to the right. They just got to get a rebound until Kitsis comes up with the big board. That's his 5th rebound of the game, and a big one. And with 29.1 seconds left, Olivet's going to take a timeout, a full timeout. 1-point lead. We'll take one more break. When we get back, it'll be the rest of the game right after this.
More than a manager, you're not just saying, "Wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did." It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality, so that you can say, "Well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here." So it's not just financial plan. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
And we're back, and what an exciting finish, an exciting game it's been overall. Olivet leads Spalding 64-63 after trailing for most of the second half. They tied it up going into halftime at 33 apiece. And this game's been just as close ever since. Talkitsis has been huge down the road here. Key rebounds, knocked down some key free throws to give his team the 1-point lead. He got the last rebound. So now Olivet with a 1-point lead, a chance to get a basket. Things are looking pretty good as long as they can avoid a turnover. They get in for Terry. He's fouled right away by Rylan Rowe. I think I like that strategy, because otherwise they're going to waste the clock down. It would have been to just about 2 seconds left. Even with that, you know, you're forcing up a heave at the last second. And even if they don't get a shot, you're still down one. I think that's the best strategy there, just to foul right away. And force Terry to make some free throws here at the line. First one off the back of the iron. It wouldn't go, so it's a 1-point game. The strategy worked out. Jordan Terry couldn't get the free throw to go. Up top, Keith Wallace. Olivet won on a stop the last possession by 1 in the last game. Can they do it again? They lead 64-63. Keith Wallace drives inside, dishes it underneath, spinning. Mumphrey falls down. Rylan Rowe floats it up. It's tipped into the air. RJ Haas grabs it. He's fouled. And Olivet looks to be on their way to going 2-0 here in the Rustavet Holland Sentinel Classic. What a wild sequence there as we take a look at it. RJ Haas going to the free throw line here. We see him pulling down the rebound, getting fouled. And they want a towel to wipe off the floor here quickly, so we've got a minute. But a 64-63 lead for Olivet. And the Comets have RJ Haas at the line. The lefty will try to knock down a few free throws, even if he can't. Spalding has 2.7 seconds left. You're almost better off missing the second shot. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's going to have to be a 3 anyways. But missing a shot wouldn't be the worst thing. We'll see what they go with. If you make it, you allow Spalding to set up an inbound play, and they do have timeouts that they can call. So we'll see what we go with here down the line. Coach Kevin Gray out by the court getting ready. See if Haas just knocks this down. Give his team a 3-point lead, and he does bury it. So a timeout going to be called by Olivet, actually. Steve Ernst going to take it. So this is going to be the last full timeout for Olivet. 2.7 seconds left. Take a break to hear from our sponsor one last time. We'll be back right after this.
Monday, hit the road.
Honey, did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold? You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Hey, we're all a little lost. You know where the lake is?
Back and ready to go here. 66-63. Olivet leads Spalding after RJ Haas knocked down 2 big free throws. And Coach Steve Ernst got a timeout to talk about where he wanted his team to be. And we'll see what Spalding's going to run. They got 3 players right at half court. 2.7 seconds left. They get it in. It's stolen. Eric Ewing picked the pocket, and they're not going to foul. They're going to watch Eric Ewing dribble it out, and that's going to do it here. Final score, Olivet 66, and Olivet's 66, Spalding 63. We look at that last play. They try to inbound, and boy, it just seemed too easy for Eric Ewing, who had a tough day shooting, but stepping in, making the big play on defense. And Olivet is going to come away with 2 wins here at DeVos Fieldhouse in the past 2 days. They improved to 4-6 now on the season. Things starting to even out a little bit for the Comets, playing some pretty solid basketball. Spalding will fall to 1-10. Tough start to the season continues. 21 points, though, for Rylan Rowe to lead all scorers. Nick Trisco had 16. Looking on the other side, 12 apiece for Krazan and Woodson, and 11 for Washington. Came down to turnovers, really, because Spalding Out-rebounded Olivet 47-29, not even close in that department. But 13 turnovers for Spalding and just 5 the entire game for Olivet. They really took care of the basketball, and that became the difference. So it looks like our second game will start right on schedule at 8 p.m. And Oak College Flying Dutchman will take on Johnson and Wales Wildcats, 8 o'clock. I'll be back on the call. Carly Van Swoel will be joining me as she did last night. Here's some highlights from the game to take you out. You can check the live stream of the 8 o'clock game coming up in about 27 minutes.